My name is Laura Belcher, and I'm 31 years old. In 2015, after I finished nursing school to start my nursing career, I started getting sick at that moment. I knew that something wasn't right with my body. I kept reaching out, and I went to doctors, and I went to one doctor and I explained to them that, my legs was shaking from my waist down and they wouldn't stop, and it came to the point where they instantly said that I was depressed and I needed to be on antidepressants, and that would be the answer. So 2 weeks later, I go back and I told her that I knew that I had lost weight and something just wasn't right. It still wasn't working. And she said, that's part of depression. It takes time and, we'll just have to increase it. And, I'm like, no, something is wrong with me. I have cancer. And I was told that I didn't have cancer because it would show up in my red blood count or my white blood count. I didn't take that for an answer, but it was a doctor, so I just believed him, They have the answers to everything, so I just went along with it. It kept going on and on and on. I mean, I pretty much doctor shopped to get answers. Every doctor that I went to, it was, depression and anxiety, and I got tired of hearing that. And the only conclusion that I was coming to was I had a birth control wire in my arm, and I was thinking, okay, maybe that's it. So I went to the doctor and, I had them to remove it. I had lost 7 pounds in less than a week. I had went to the doctor and they had told me that I needed to see a psychiatrist or I could die. They wouldn't let me leave their office until I seen the psychiatrist. And you talk to a psychiatrist for 30 to 40 minutes and they instantly have an answer to all your problems. So within that 40-minute time frame, I was diagnosed with major depression and generalized anxiety. And I was put on medication that I did not want to be put on. I had said I didn't want to be on anything that was addictive, and I was told that I would not be addicted as long as I took it how I was prescribed. Since I started the medicine, I have still been sick. The symptoms still never stopped. All these months go by, I keep telling them that I had cancer. I knew my body. I knew my body better than they did. But I was misled. I was shrugged off, here's a pill, it will fix this. And then they removed my gallbladder because I kept getting sick and losing more weight and more weight. 3 days later, I'm still having the same symptoms. Nausea, vomiting, hurting, everything. They had told me that I needed to go to the emergency room and make sure that I did not have an infection at that time. So I forced myself to get in my car and I drove there on my own. They immediately put me into a CAT scan to make sure that I didn't have an infection from having my gallbladder removed. Within no time, the doctor was in my room. And usually, when you go to an emergency room, it's forever for them to come back in. And she was in there, right away. And she said, have you ever had any cysts? And I said, well, back in 2005 when I had my son, but the doctor said that it was no big deal. And she said, okay. She said, I'm going to put some dye and some contrast into your IV and take a further in-depth look and, make sure, what I'm seeing is, what I'm seeing. And I was like, okay. After that was done and she took a further in-depth look, she came back in my room and she grabbed my hand and she said, what I believe to have found was a 12.9 centimeter mass on your ovary. And I believe that you have cancer. At that point in time, I was mad. I was angry, I was sad, I was happy because I've known my body for so long and I knew that something wasn't right, and I've been telling these doctors all along that I had cancer. So from there, I was at OSU and I was there for a weekend and I was sent home, and the following week I was scheduled for surgery. By the time they got in there, my tumor had metastasized to the size of a cantaloupe. I had to have a complete hysterectomy to remove the tumor. From there, I had to heal from my surgery, and then I instantly started chemotherapy. I had to go 5 days a week. It was very hard, very scary. I had a hard time going through that. I was in fear of, who would be there for my children, who would take care of my children. You can die at any given moment. The chemotherapy that I was given, it can kill somebody instantly. But I had to put it in the back of my mind that I was going to beat this, and Nobody was going to stop me. You know, my children depended on me. I knew my body more than they did. And just because they're doctors, they don't know how you really feel and what's going on. Everything was, here's a pill, this will make you better. I've never liked pills. I've never liked anything. I never even so much of liked to take Tylenol. But when you talk to a psychiatrist, or it didn't matter, take this medicine or you could die. So I took that medication because I didn't want to die, you know, thinking that that was the answer to all my problems. And that was going to cure me. That was going to help me. I was polydrugged. I've been on multiple antidepressants and they've never worked. And I always went back and it was still the same thing, depression and anxiety. And it's a hard thing to work through. I understand that, you know, there is depression out there. I understand that, you know, people have anxiety and I don't discriminate for that. But medication is not always the answer. The medicine that I was put on has completely destroyed me. I was put on a medicine called clonazepam, 1 milligram 3 times a day. I still wasn't feeling okay. Thoughts and everything just started rambling through my mind. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I kept calling the doctors back and telling them, you know, it's not working, something is not right. Just take another one. Just take a 4th one. I didn't know what to do, so I did. I've been robbed of my life, of so many things that I've wanted to do. Nursing school, you know, was a big goal for me. And I never got to finish because I just woke up one day and, you know, I was sick. I didn't ask for it. I didn't deserve to be polydrugged. I didn't deserve to sit there and them talk about my past and, you know, from when I was younger and vice versa. You know, instantly after, you know, a half an hour to 40 minutes, how do you know what's going on in my mind? They didn't, but they had the answer to all my questions. They could cure me. And after being put on medication and them finding my cancer, I felt like I wasn't heard. I was misdiagnosed from the beginning. And if someone would have just listened to me, I would never be this far. So fast forward to the medication that I'm on. I have researched this medication. You're not supposed to be on this medication for no more than 2 to 4 weeks. I have been on this medication now since August of 2015. Starting in January of 2017, my body just started going crazy. My insides was shaking. It felt like there was bugs crawling all over me. And I felt like I was having a nervous breakdown. So I ended up in a psychiatric unit that I went on my own because I knew that something wasn't right. And once again, you go there and medicine is the answer to all your problems. So when I left from there, I was released with a prescription of Xanax when I specifically said that I didn't want to be on any more benzos. When I walked out of that hospital, I threw that prescription in the trash because I was not about to fill it. After that, I searched for different doctors. If I'm not getting an answer from one doctor, there's other doctors out there that I thought would help me, more or less. But I never got it. So now, from 2015 until now, of 2019, I am struggling and I am fighting for my life at this point. All because of a medicine that was going to cure me. This medicine is a very powerful, powerful drug. And I never realized it until I started researching it. I have went to 2 voluntary detoxes because I wanted off of it. The only thing that I was on was the Klonopin, and I was on a hormone pill from the complete hysterectomy that I had from my cancer. And I was very suicidal at that point. And I called my doctor and, you know, I said, I went off of the Klonopin. It's not the hormones that's doing it to me. It's the Klonopin. The first detox that I went to was at a hospital and I was there for 5 days. They did a Librium taper on me. I lost 5 pounds in the 5 days that I was there. And I asked the doctor if I would feel normal when I got out of there because I have children to take care of. Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be good. I put my faith in that, you know, I was going to be okay. Walking out of that hospital, I was not okay. I felt like I was walking on clouds. I felt like I was coming out of my skin. I was 20 times worse coming out than I was going in. So then I went to another place, another detox. And they put it in my lap that I was going to be fine. And I was in the right place. I'm going to get out of there and I'm going to be okay. And once again, I put my full faith in this place. I was there 3 days. They instantly took me off of my medicine, prescribed me gabapentin and phenobarbital. I left from there after 3 days and I went home. And at that point, I wanted to give up. I kept calling them back and calling them back. Something's not right. I'm not right. I'm not okay. I want my voice to be heard because I've been robbed of my life. I've been robbed of the hopes and dreams that I've always had. I've been robbed of the things that I used to be able to do that I can't do anymore. I struggle every day with the things that I used to do, that I used to be able to do. And that's not me. That's not me at all. I put on this face, for everybody. They think that I'm okay and I'm fine, but I'm not. And I'm dying inside. My children need me. So I know that I can't leave them. I can never escape my children. I can't leave my family behind. And for what the doctors have done, if I give up, they win. That's not the answer. I refuse to let these doctors just say that, here's the magic pill, here's this. I don't want to be on medication. The medicine didn't stop me from everything that I was going through. The medicine didn't stop my sickness. The medicine didn't stop me from where I couldn't drive. The medicine, it did nothing for me. It was like a Band-Aid to try to cover up my problems. And it didn't even cover up my problems because they were still there. I'm not an addict. I take my medicine how I'm prescribed because that's what I'm told to do. But instead of the medicine working for me, it's working against me. It's making me have these thoughts to where I don't want to go on anymore. I don't want to do anything. I just want to isolate myself and, block everybody out and go to sleep and wake up and it was just a dream, but it's there every day. I wake up every day and I'm miserable. That's not fair to me. It's not fair to my children that see me cry, that cry with me. They go to church, they'll ask to pray for their mom. They'll write me letters, constantly asking me if I'm okay. And I tell them yes, so that way they're not worrying. I'm to the point now where I just keep putting in my mind that I know that there's somebody out there that has to understand what I'm going through, that has to know what I'm going through. Somebody that will listen to me and not just be like, this is your problem, it's not the medicine, it's not this, it's not that, because it is. If I was just listened to when I told them that I had cancer and something was wrong, I wouldn't be in this situation right now. I would have went through chemotherapy and I would have been fine. Enjoying life like I'm supposed to because I beat cancer. So many has lost their lives due to that. And my heart goes out to the ones that didn't get that opportunity to say that they beat it. My heart goes out to the ones that are struggling with it to this day. I look around and, I see all these people out and, I just think to myself, I just want to be normal like them. Why can't I be normal like them? And, go to sleep at night and not have to worry about taking a medication. Why can't I wake up and just go about my day like I did before? Instead of now, I'm waking up and I instantly have to put a pill in my mouth. Does it help me? No. But I take it because if I don't take it, I'm much, much worse. It has messed with my brain so much and it's consuming me. Do I want this to be my story? No. It's not fair. It's not fair to my family. It's definitely not fair to me. I know I'm still strong, but I'm weak as well. And it's not because of something that I did. It's because of something that I was put on that consumed me. I want this to be the beginning of my second story. I already have a story from my cancer journey and everybody that was there for me. From the beginning till the end, I can't thank them enough. I'll never be able to repay them for everything. But they know who they are. And they know that I wouldn't have been able to get through it without them. But right now, after beating cancer, I am struggling mentally. I don't need medication. I know I don't. I was just put on a medication because I was failed to be heard. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that have been failed in the medical field, and but there are some good doctors out there that will lead me in the right direction. I refuse to give up searching for answers. I refuse to give up trying to find that certain someone, because at the end of the day, I'm still standing, and I can't sit back and let these doctors destroy me anymore. When I lay my head down at night, I know I made it through another day, and it was hard making it through that day. So many people has got me through each and every day. Nevertheless, I get up every day and I fight this battle. No matter how bad I feel, how bad I want it to end, I still keep going. Because I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and there can't be rainbows without rain. God works in mysterious ways. And I know that there's one person out there that will hear my cry, will hear my voice, will hear my story, and know how to help me, how to get my life back. My main goal is for anybody that's listening to my cry right now, my story, don't give up. Don't give in. As hard as it is, when you give up, they win. And I refuse to let them win. And I will fight until I have no more fight in me.